comfortable with, okay? So make sure you pay attention because soon you're going to write an AC. So Maninder is 40 and is able to make monthly deposits of 350. So monthly 350, so regular deposit. His TFSA savings earns 3.25 per annum. That means per year. If you need to make a note of that, that's per year, compounded semi-annually. So CY is equal to 2. Semi-monthly would be 24. Have those written down, okay? Determine the value of the savings by the time he turns 67, retirement. So some of you already have this, so you just need to make sure you get this right. So CY is 2, payments are monthly, future value we're wondering, it's 350 a month, we don't start with a big chunk, interest rate is 3.25, and here we have a little bit of math required, so 67 minus 40, that gets us to 27 years, okay? So it'd be 27 times whatever PY is, that's 12. And I have to actually calculate this with you. So apps, TVM solver, 27 times 12. That's 324 payments that will be happening over that time frame. Future value to be determined, 12 and 2. Okay, so make sure you have this all. And then we go alpha, solve, and you will have, or Maninder will have 180,580 and 3 cents. Okay. So if you did this right, this is the number that I would expect you to have. So 2 marks for that. One mistake, you get 1 out of 2. How much interest will he have earned in the initial 10 years? Okay, so you have to use sum of interest. And we're going to go from the very first to you got to go 10 years multiplied by PY. So that translates to sum of interest from the very first to the 120th month. Okay? So you quit this screen, leave whatever is on there. You got to go apps, apps, finance. I go arrow up and I find sum of interest. 1 to the 120th. So you will have earned, or Maninder will have earned this much in interest after 10 years. 1 mark for that. That's all or nothing, by the way. How much will he have in his account after 10 years? What are we using there? Balance, right? Balance after 10 years. 10 times 12, I already did that, so I'm just going to borrow that amount, and it's balance 120. So we go apps, finance, there it is. So there will be, you don't have to worry about the negative. Why is it negative? Because it's in the bank, right? That's why it's negative. So it's $49,493.76. Okay, that's how much is in the account after 10 years. How much has he contributed in the first 10 years? Asking for, what's that word? Principal. Okay. So in this case, it's simply 49,493. I kind of built this up for you. You take away these two, and you get, let me just do the math here. This is going to be wrong. Hold on one second. 42,000. How else could you have done this? There's another way. Or you can do 120 payments of $350. Right? Because that's what you made 120 payments over that time frame. There it is, 42,000. So it's another way. Were you thinking of another way, Aliyah? Did I give you another formula? This way? Okay. So here you have to be careful because this is not n necessarily the entire n. It's just 120, right? Not 324. Determine the rate of return. So I set this up for you already. Rate of return is the interest you've earned. Oh no, we got to be careful when you turn 67. So we cannot use these ones. Let me go up for this. Rate of return for the entire investment. So I'm going to do this the hard way. Interest would be 180,580.03 minus 324 payments of 350. So this is 185.80.03 minus this much you've put in out of your own money. So minus, you can use sum of interest, no problem here. 67,180.03. I'm going to borrow that number and use it in my calculations down in E. Anybody use sum of interest? Did you get the same amount? You got the same amount? So I'm going to just say or sum of interest from 1 to 324, okay, that you would still get the same. That is actually my preferred way of doing that, but I need you to have multiple ways of getting there just in case. Okay. For example, let's go into exam mode here. What if a question, all it says is like, someone or Maninder has 180,000 and then some in his account. He made 324 payments of 350. How much interest did he earn? Can you use sum of interest? You can't. You have to use this logic here. Okay. So rate of return, 67,180.03 divided by, you can actually tell from my previous formula that we've invested 113,400. We're going to multiply that by 100. And I'm going to throw in some highlighters here. So the interest earned gets green for me, and the how much you have invested goes orange, and then you know where I got those numbers from. So I know it's negative, just ignore it. That would be 59.24%. It is possible for your rate of return to be negative. That would be bad. That means you lost. Okay? The only reason I have a negative is because I used a negative amount because I wasn't following BEDMAS properly there earlier, so don't worry about it. In this case, it's positive because this number, you actually did earn money in your investment. So how do you get 2 marks here? Because I'll give you 1 mark for each value that you figured out, and obviously it stands to reason that you get the right answer there. F. Maninder wonders how much he will be able to withdraw on a bi-weekly basis until the age of 87. Withdrawals start at 67, so retirement happens there. Assume that his savings account still earns the same rate, compounding periods, etc. So here is where things get a bit more complicated. Well, you just have to know how it goes, how it flows. Okay? Compounding stays the same, so we'll keep it at 2 payments at 12. No, our payments 12. We're withdrawing bi-weekly, so it's 52. 26, as I was saying. 26, sorry. This is like bingo. 51, 26, till it gets right. Like so, and then this is going to be 0. Okay, so we want to know how much we can withdraw, so that's going to be our payment. And what do we start with? We start with what we ended up with up there, this amount. Okay. Interest is still the same, 3.25. And we're going to go from 67 to 87. That's 20 years. You want to have enough money for 20 years. So 20 times PY, which is 26. 520, right? Yeah. Apps, finance. So I'm still going to make sure there 520, 3.25 stays. Present value is now 185.80.03. 0, this is 26, and this is 2. So there we go. Payment, alpha, solve, 471.47. Bi-weekly. Okay. Explain, justify why Maninder should consider investing some of his money into the stock market. I would say this, you can talk about diversifying, okay? In order to diversify his portfolio, that's one way. You could also say to increase the rate of return. Since higher risk investments tend to yield higher returns. So some of you, or maybe a few of you, are gonna become financial advisors, maybe financial gurus. Okay, and you might say, Mr. Jason, whatever he was teaching is just a bunch of BS, right? Come and see me then. Come and talk to me, and I'll take this back. But I think I know what I'm saying here. What else could Maninder? You can also say he's younger. 40 is not young, but still ways away from retirement, like 27 years. So he's got the time to risk a bit. He's got the time to risk. And even if he's losing money along the way, he still has time to gain it back. So you could have talked about that as well. Let's see how many marks we're talking about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to keep it at 10. So you're the teacher today. Give yourselves a mark out of 10. Make sure your name is on there.